Ever since we traveled to Lorwyn, we have seen a new type of card known as Planeswalkers. We've had Planeswalkers before in the storyline, but never were they represented in such a card type. Being that this channel is the Planeswalker project, we had to do a video about Planeswalkers at some point. Anyway, this video is going to go into my picks for the top 10 Planeswalkers in Magic the Gathering. Coming in at number 10 is Nikobolas Planeswalker. I know there are plenty of other better walkers out there, but I feel that Nikobolas is such a huge part of the Magic storyline, and that he has his own walker version, he deserves a spot on this list. His abilities are very control-y and vicious, and though you have to pay a metric butt ton to get him into play, I definitely think he makes a big enough impact on the board state. His ultimate is also a very nice throwback to his original Elder Dragon self, which I think is pretty awesome. Coming in at number 9 is Tezzeret the Seeker. This is a must include for any deck that has a heavy artifact theme. Being able to untap artifacts and tutor for them is just nuts. He's also mono blue, so a mono blue robots deck could make the best use of his abilities, and I remember hearing that he does pretty good in Legacy or Vintage as well. Our number 8 slot goes to Elspeth Knight Errant. Of the 3 Elspeth's cards printed, I find this version of her to be the most useful in my decks. Her 2+1 abilities give a decent boon to your side of the field, whether it be a spawned defender to protect her, which on a Planeswalker is always a great ability, or she supersizes a creature to fly in for some heavy damage. If you can somehow get her up to her ultimate, you've basically won the game. Number 7 is an older walker, Soren Markov. I was never a real big fan of Soren's shift from mono-black to a white-black walker. To me, he always seemed most at home as a mono-black Planeswalker. His 2 minus abilities are among the most brutal in Magic. In Commander especially, his -3 is a huge knockback, hitting an opponent down 3/4 of the way. The Mindslaver ultimate is just insult to injury, and his +2 is just a better version of shock, but it's nothing really to write home about. I still prefer this Soren over any other version of him personally. Coming in at number 6 is Doretta, Scrap Savant. Commander 2014 brought with it a cycle of walkers that could be used as commanders. Doretta is among one of the most powerful of the 5. Artifact decks are bonkers to begin with, let alone ones that have the sheer speed and flexibility that Doretta offers. In doing my stacks video a few weeks back, many people have informed me of how stupidly powerful he is as a stacks commander. Perhaps I should start working on a deck around him? Coming in at number 5 is Tammy O the Moonsage. Tammy O is perhaps one of the more fun blue walkers, having some nice powerful abilities like her +1. Her ultimate makes me put her on the list of walkers who have I win abilities that I feel make Planeswalkers a little overpowered in the game and a little bit too uninteractive. In addition, as a footnote, it's nice that there are some blue walkers out there that aren't Jace the face of Magic. Our number 4 walker is Teferi the Temporal Ark Mage. Another contender from the Commander 2014, this guy is another possible stacks leader. His pseudo-scry ability is great for card draw, and his -1 is perhaps one of the best untap abilities among Planeswalkers. His ultimate is, for a lack of a better word, Banana Split Sundays. You normally can only use one ability of a walker during your turn only and at sorcery speed. Teferi lets you do it even on an opponent's turn and whenever you can cast an instant. That means that you can untap 4 permanents at a moment's notice during your opponent's turn, or draw a card. He's just nuts. We finally reached our top 3 walkers, so things are about to get bonkers. Our number 3 slot is Carne Liberated. One of the big drops in Modern Tron, this guy is perhaps one of my favorite walkers. He's colorless, so you can theoretically put him into any deck, and he has some of the most awesome control abilities, either removing a card from an opponent's hand or removing a permanent. Because they're exiled, they're not going to the graveyard anytime soon. And, even better, is you can also restart the game with everything Carne exiled under your control, yours or your opponent's. I'd put him up there as having one of the most powerful ultimate abilities among Planeswalkers. Our number 2 spot goes to none other than Jace the Mindsculpter. I can't begin to talk about how much this guy has impacted formats upon his release. When he made his first appearance at the Pro Tours, he was in nearly every single deck. Every single deck. Every one of his abilities is super relevant. He can Fate Seal an opponent, he can give you a free Brainstorm, he can give you an Unsummon, and if you can keep him out long enough to somehow get his ultimate before people hate him off the board, you basically take your opponent's library and fling it out the window. In fact, Jace the Mindsculpter has such a powerful set of abilities, he is still the second most expensive card on this list, even after printings in both From the Vault as well as Eternal Masters. They still have him at well above a $50 card. And finally, the moment I know you've been waiting for. Number 1 is Liliana of the Veil, perhaps the most valuable card on this list and one of the most powerful ones on this list. Liliana of the Veil is everything a black control player wants in a walker. She's a 3-drop 3 loyalty walker with super disruptive abilities. Her +1 can whittle down an opponent's hand while working towards that ultimate, which basically kills half the opponent's table. She was only ever printed once, unfortunately, in the original Innistrad, and is perhaps one of the most played walkers in Modern. She is also the top most expensive walker on this list, or just in general, at well over $100 a copy at the time of this video's recording. And that's going to wrap up our list of the top 10 Planeswalkers in Magic. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and share this video with your Magic the Gathering Playgroup. You're helping the channel grow to new audiences, and you're helping us out in doing so. So we thank you. Also, if you're new to the channel, I welcome you and hope you consider becoming a subscriber today. Now then, it's time to burn the remainder of my Tibalts.